Please remember that all the opinions in the show are those of the host and should only be taken as food for thought. We're in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners and no information is shared to anyone else. If you are easily offended by people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but this is not the podcast for you, so see you later. And please enjoy the rest of the show. So this is a previous listener. This is the listener that I didn't click, and their name is actually our name. Do you remember that email? Where they made a fake email because obviously
yes, J-Dan,
yeah.
Yes.
And I was like, hey J-Dan. And then when I was reading out the email, you were like, that's us. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Wally.
They like made an act. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I forgot about that.
But they said, to clarify, I'm a man, but I'm still using the same made up email. So their name is not J-Dan, that's us. The guy who was getting with me finally told me he would never come out, so I closed the case on that. I sent an email and I was like, why doesn't he want to come out? Because to me, that doesn't make sense. Because like, if you're...
Unless he's got a committed relationship with a woman or something.
To me, the only reason he would not come out is if he just wants to have sex with men. He doesn't want to date or have like any... He doesn't want to be known for having... He just wants to have the sex.
I just think it's weird. Well, obviously we don't know that struggle, but it's 2024. You think it'd be pretty easy just to come out and have people accept you as you are now?
Yeah, but then I suppose if he comes out, everyone's going to assume that he's gay, and he's probably not that.
Yeah, he's probably
interested
just into
in
sex.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we were getting fixated on the wrong part of the email. Anyway, so he continues, says, I've been with a few guys since, but I've never committed to anyone. I spoke to a counsellor about it, and she thinks I have commitment issues due to my father leaving. I think it's more about the amount of hurt I've had in relationships. I'm starting to feel like finding love in your 30s is too late. What do you guys think? I know straight and gay is so much different, but it's the same problem, right? I think it's the same problem. I don't think there's that much different between gay and straight.
Not when it comes to the actual mechanics of a relationship. I don't think finding love in your 30s is too late. I think I know loads of people that have got with people this year and only getting commitments this year. And I'm 32, so they're all around my age. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've got cousins that were in like marriages and have now found someone that's better for them now, and they're in their mid-40s. I don't think it's ever too late to find someone. I think commitment issues is a different thing. I think having commitment issues is something that you could be deeper. That might be why the therapist is like coming down to that, or the counselor's coming down to that. But it could be down to anything. It could be that fact that you want a certain person and your standards are slightly too high for what you're able to achieve as a person. Do you know what I mean? Because I've got a friend, a close friend, who I'm desperate for him to get into a relationship, and I want the relationships to work for him, but he keeps finding girls that are like out of the league of what he wants. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's finding girls that are like Instagrammy, like modelly type girls that aren't interested. They're 21, 22 years old. They're not interested in like a long-term thing. They're more interested in a few trips for their Instagram and carry on dating throughout their 20s. He's like 32, 33, wants to commit and settle down, and he's going for the wrong type of girl for what he wants. And I think you've got to kind of figure out what you want from a situation. If you want a relationship, or whether you want to bounce around, and the commitment issues isn't actually commitment issues, that's just what you want at the minute.
I think it's dating is incredibly fucking difficult. Like, I didn't...
Oh, yeah.
I'm what did I got it wrong? 36, I think I am. I don't know. I get lost. But like I have like commitment issues, and my dad left, and that I have like abandonment issues and things like that.
Yeah.
So like, which is why I ended up in incredibly abusive relationships because I felt if so I so my mum always told me that my dad wanted a girl, which is one of the main reasons that he always said that he could never love a son the same way as he could a daughter. That's his
Right.
own problems. I don't understand that. So I always sort of like blame myself for all the sort of situations. So when I got into these relationships, I would then let them put me down because I would feel
And
if
take a
I
lot more than
spoke
you
up,
should off
yeah,
them. Yeah.
because I felt like if I spoke up, then they would leave, and that would, set off my abandonment issues. Which is why I'm quite happy with because like Sabina doesn't, she's really supportive and stuff like that, and so I can be myself, and I don't feel like
Judged.
I'm worried. Yeah, I'm not worried as much as I used to be. Like I put up with some incredible fucking shit from these women, and I never like trusted myself. So I think it's definitely worth listening to the counsellor a little bit. I know it seems sometimes that they're
There's a
pointing the
reason that they're a
finger.
counsellor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I know it feels really like you go speak to these people and then you hear something, and even if you feel like it might be right, you're a bit sort of standoff because you're like,
Mm.
who are they to tell me that I've got this issue or that issue?
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? But yeah, like I think people compare themselves to like my mum and my real dad were really young, obviously when she had me,
Yeah.
and then it's even like stuff with like buying houses. Like your parents and that bought the house when they were fucking in the early 20s, and like no one could do that now. Like
No, it's
the way
impossible.
it is now, no. So I think your ideas of when you can find love is based on all these people that are like, oh, I met this person when I was 20. I met this person when I was in school, and life's not like that.
Yeah, it's a it is a generational gap thing because like when I think about my mum and dad and like my mum's made comments before, my mum had my youngest brother by the time she was 30. So
Mm,
I was at 21, the other brother was at 23, and then Aaron, the youngest, was at 30. I hadn't even contemplated having a child by 30. Like I obviously it would have been nice if it happened by 30, but it was never at the top of my to-do list. I had plenty to do. I was going on holidays. I was doing this, this, and that.
mm,
Um, had my flat, had my house. That wasn't like part of my journey to that point, and that just shows what the generational gap's like. My mum moved into a house, had kids, all by the time she was 30, and was like basically at a established situation where that never happens now.
no, all these people that like, oh, we've been together 50 years. Like I wouldn't even get that now. I couldn't be with Sabina for 50 years. I'd be fucking dead and buried by then.
Mm.
I mean, that's another thing with like films and movies and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, you're in high school and you meet the person you love for the rest of your life, and it's like,
The world's
no,
a much bigger place now as well, obviously.
yeah, social media and easier to travel and stuff like that. I think I know exactly how you're feeling. Like when I was on the dating and stuff like that, whether it's straight or gay, it just feels like impossible.
Mm.
And we say to people before, like that have come in, when you take the pressure off yourself, it makes it a lot easier. When I stopped trying so hard and thinking about, oh, this is what I want, this is what I need to make myself happy, it was a lot easier to find someone. In my case, you know what I mean, because I was so fixated on not finding someone that would treat me like a piece of shit
Yeah.
that I was constantly looking for things to be like, oh no, that person's going to do this to me or that person's going to
Yeah,
do that
red
to me. So I was
flags.
constantly,
You're looking for the
yeah.
red flags, yeah.
So, but yeah, it's not an easy thing at all. Not, fucking horribly difficult. to find a partner. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it
So I
definitely is.
don't. Oh, sorry, I thought you froze then. Men as well, like, like we said before, men are dogs, and I feel myself like I wouldn't want to be gay because like we watched that Bros film, and he's like meshing that guy, and he's trying to have a conversation. The guy's like, "Show me your ass," and he's like, "I'm trying to." He's like, "No ass, no talk." it's like men are incredibly like they just don't give a fuck. So I can imagine being gay is a lot like, and not to do with like the stigma or anything like that. I just think a guy doesn't want to settle down. A guy just wants to fuck everything.
Yeah, and there will be guys out there that are just happy with that.
Yeah.
They
So
don't want the
I
relationship.
think it's really fucking difficult. But you never know. I want to see you on older couples. Come dine with me. That's where you always see the gay couples and come dine with me.
Oh man, come dine with me. If any of our American listeners have not come across Come Dine with Me, just YouTube it.
It's
Channel 4 Come
amazing.
Dine with Me. Some of the fucking best fucking British TV has ever come out. That show is so funny.
Come dine. And the gay people, the gay couples are the best because you've always got one that's really like placid and just sits there, and the other one's like crazy, like over the top,
Mm.
and they make the best people. But yeah, don't worry about it, man. Like I said, like I'm almost I'm almost near my 40s, and it's taken me a long time to meet someone that I'm really happy with. So it will happen. And like my stepdad, he didn't have my brother until he was almost, I think he was like 38 or something, 37, 38.
Mm.
So it doesn't matter now. Like, just don't think about time frames and things like that. Like your brother was like that when he was very much like, I need to find someone.
Yeah, I think what happened with my brother, especially, and I think it happens to a lot of people, is they're in a committed relationship for a long period of time. And then when they come out of it, it's a bit like, fuck, I've wasted loads of time with this one person. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, what do I do? And then like what he did, he ended up bouncing around a lot because he was trying to find people that would commit. But it was never the right fit because he's trying to like put a fucking square piece in a circle hole, if you know what I
Mm.
mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to find the right person for you. And I think he has found that right person now, but it took a while. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of that was born out of panic. And like, as I said with like my other mate, he just won't commit with anything. And no, he wants commitment with every single person, but the type of person he's going for is not the person that's going to commit to him.
Mm.
But he can't help his type as well, so he's like stuck.
Fucking hell. But yeah, but good luck, man. Like, hope you're the best and you find someone. But enjoy yourself until then. Don't worry about, get out there and have a good time. J Dan.
J
I
Dad.
still can't get over the fact that didn't click. I still remember
I
the first
clicked
email.
straight
I'm like,
away,
hey
but
J Dan.
I think it's because
Yeah,
I'm
no.
used to people calling me Jay.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Just thought it was a crazy coincidence.